Srimati Ramanujaya Namaha. Let us start our class with Alvar Acharya's Mangalasasanam. Again will say Taniyan. Malalan Swami, will you be able to say Padutaniyan? Again will say Taniyan first. ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜெய திருவடிகளே சரணம் ஆச்சாரியன் திருவடிகளே சரணம் ஸ்ரீ வாதூல நம பிரவாள ருச்சிர ஸ்ரக்ஷைன்யநாதாம் சச்ச ஸ்ரீ குருவேந்திர மகாரிய லப்த நிஜசத் சத்தம் சுதாபீஷ்டதம் ஸ்ரீ ராமானுஜம் முக்கியதேசி கரசத் கைங்கரிய சம்ஸ்தாபகம் ஸ்ரீமத் வெங்கட லக்ஷ்மணாரியமினம் தம் சத்குணம் பாவயே ஜயாப்தே சிம்மரோஹிண்யா சஞ்சாதம் சத்குணானவும் ஸ்ரீ சைல லக்ஷ்மண முனிம் வந்தே வாத்சல்யவாரிதிம் श्री वादूलरमा निवास सुकुरो पादाब्ज सेवारतम आत्रेयान्वे वेंकटारि कृपया संप्राप्त वाग्वैभवं श्री शैलेशेधीश सुंदरवर संप्राप्त दूर्याश्रमं श्रीयप्पन परकाल सम्य मिवरं सेवे कृपां पोनिधिम् पदतनियन्
देवत्यादि गुणर्णवं यतीन्द्रप्रभलं वन्दे रम्यजामादरं मुलं लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तं वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतं पराङ्गुचयुग्मरुग्मं ज्ञानमोहदस्तमस्तपितानित्रणायुमेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भवदोषितैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य शरणं शरणं प्रपद्ये माता पिता युवदयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव निर्मयो मदन्मयो आद्यस्य कुलपते वकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्ग्रियुगलं प्रणमामि नूतना पूरं सरश्च महदाहय पट्टनाद श्री भक्तिसार कुलशेखर योगिवान् भक्ताङ्ग्रणेनं परकाले यतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशं मुनं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्.
Very nice. So we will see the story of manakkal nambi. Manakkal nambi. Today. Last week we learnt the story of Uyakondar. Do you remember Swami? Malalan Swami ஞாபகத்துல இருக்கா? Last week Uyakondar Swami உடைய கதை பார்த்தோம் இல்லையா? We learnt the story of Uyakondar, who is a Shishya of Alavandar. Who is Uyakondar Swami? Shishya of Alavandar. Yes. Uyakondar. Yes. Uyakondar Swami is Shishya of Sorry, Nathamunigal. Not Alavandar. Again, was thinking of Alavandar today a lot, so slip of a tongue. Shamika Prarthi. Uyakondar is Shishya of Nathamunigal. Who is Uyakondar? Shishya of Nathamunigal. Yes. Nathamunigal Swami, he requested Uyakondar to bring up his grandson, who is none other than Alavandar, in a proper Sri Vaishnava way. He gave this niyamanam to Uyakondar to raise his grandchild according to the philosophy of Sri Vaishnava. Nathamunigal taught everything about Alvar, about Divya Prabandham, about all the Aruli Chayalgal, about the essence of Divya Prabandham, hidden meanings of the Divya Prabandham, everything to Uyakonda. We learned his story, isn't it? Uyakonda's story. He was a very humble disciple of Narada Munigal, learned everything, and he promised his guru that he would take care of his grandson Yamunai Thuraivan. What was the actual name of Alavandar? Given by his parents. Yamunai Thuraivan. What was the name of Alavandar? Given by his parents? Yamunai Thuraivan. Nada Munigal said his grandson should be named after Yamunai Thuraivan, who is none other than Krishna, who always resides in on the banks of river Yamuna. Who does reside on the banks of river Yamuna? Krishna. And he has performed many leelas, playful pastimes with his friends, Gopa Gopis, on the banks of river Yamuna. And Nada Munigal also wanted his grandson to have this beautiful name, Yamunai Thuraivan. And he requested his disciple Uyakonda to look after his grandson. Looking after means not just taking care of the baby, not in the materialistic way, not in an ordinary way, but in an extraordinary way. He asked Uyakonda to look after his grandson in a very extraordinary way, and make him a humble. Extraordinary means not extravagant and things like that. Make him a very humble devotee of Alvas and all the Acharyas. So Uyakonda promised, but he could not fulfill the promise by himself. So he requested his disciple Manakkal Nambi to fulfill this promise that he gave to his Acharya Nathamunigal. So, who is Manakkal Nambi here? Do you get it? Manakkal Nambi is the disciple of Uyyakondar. Who is Manakkal Nambi? Who is Manakkal Nambi? Manakkal Nambi is the disciple of Uyyakondar. Yes, disciple of Uyyakondar. We are actually learning the stories of our Purvacharyas in our Guru Parampara. Main Purvacharyas in our Guru Parampara. You remember our Guru Parampara starts with Sriman Narayana. Sriman Narayana, after Sriman Narayana, who is the next Acharya in our Guru Parampara? Remember? Any one of you? Who is the next Acharya in our Guru Parampara after Sriman Narayana? Can I give you a clue? Yes, very good. Very good. Very good. Yes, is Kansa. Is better half. We can say like that. Is Kansa, Pirati, Tayar, Mahalakshmi, who always resides in the heart of Sriman Narayana. So Pirati is the next Acharya in our Guru Parampara. After Pirati, who comes? Do you have any idea about who comes after Pirati in our Guru Parampara? After Pirati, Sene Mudaliyar. Who comes after Pirati? Sene Mudaliyar. In fact, yeah, Sene Mudaliyar. Vishwak Senar. He is also known as Vishwak Senar. He is also known as yes, Vishwak Senar. When we go to temple, Perumal Koil, we pay our obeisances to the Dvajastambam, isn't it? We pray to Dvajastamba, isn't it? In the Perumal Koil. Whenever we go to Perumal Koil, we pray to the Dvajastambam. We do not offer our namaskarams and all in other shrines within the temple, only at the Dvajastambam. The Dvajastambam symbolizes, represents Vishwaksena. What is the Dvajastamba in the Perumal Koil? What does it represent?
Vishwaksena.
Vishwaksena, very good. So today is, in fact, the Tiranakshatram of Vishwaksena. Today is Tiranakshatram. Birth star. We usually celebrate their birthdays on their Tiranakshatram. Today is the Tiranakshatram of Vishwaksena. Purada Nakshatram. He is born on Purada Nakshatram. Today is Purada. So today is Tiranakshatram. So after Vishwaksena comes Nammalvar. After Nammalvar, who is Nammalvar? Chatari, Satakopam. In the Perumal Koil, the Archaka, the priest of the temple, the Bhattar Swami, will put satari on our head, when we go to temple. That satari is the amsam of Nammalvar. It represents Nammalvar. After Nammalvar comes Natha Munigal. After Natha Munigal Uyakonda, then manakkal nambi. So manakkal nambi's only ambition, his only goal is to fulfill the desire of his Acharya, who is Uyakonda. What happens? Let us see the story of Manakkal Nambi now. Manakkal Nambi was born in a place called Manakkal. He was born in a place called Manakkal. Manakkal is his Avatara Sthalam. Because he was born in that place, he was also known as Manakkal Nambi. We call Shatakopa Nammalvar as Kurugur Nambi. Kurugur Nambi, Kurugur Swami, because Nammalvar was born in Kurugur. That's why we call him Kurugur Nambi, Kurugur Swami, Kurugur Nathan, like that, isn't it? Similarly, Manakkal Nambi was also known as Manakkal Nambi because he was born in the place known as Manakkal. He lived with his Acharya, Uyakonda, for almost 12 years. He served his Acharya in a very nice way. Lived in the sense he didn't leave his place at all. He stayed and he took care of his Acharya. And he made nice bhojanam for Perumal. He offered the bhojanam to Perumal. Then he will serve that bhojanam to Acharya. He was doing all the household chores in his Acharya's Tirumaligai. Acharya's Tirumaligai means the residence of the Acharya. We call it Acharya Tirumaligai. How do we call the residence of Acharya in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya? How do we call? Acharya Tirumaligai. How do we call? Acharya Tirumaligai. How do we call? Tirumaligai. Yes. He stayed with his Acharya and looked after his Acharya. All the household chores were taken care by Manakkal Nambi. His Acharya had two children, two daughters. Uyakondar had two daughters. So one day, his two daughters, they went to Kaveri. They were playing in Kaveri, then they brought some water to the home also. When they were walking towards a home, they were just stopped by a large puddle of muddy water. There was, there was a puddle of muddy water. They could not cross it because they thought if they cross the muddy water, their dress will be soiled. Then they need to take bath again because in those days they can't take bath in their home. We all have convenience of taking bath at our home, like we have a shower, we have a nice bathrooms and all. In the modern days we just turn on the tap or shower, we just take a nice bath, warm water comes off it, we take bath and we get clean. But in those days, even 60, 70 years ago, people used to go to riverside and take bath. 100 years ago, they used to go to riverside and take bath, or they used to take bath near the well or something like that. In those days, 500, 300, 400, 1,000 years ago, people used to go to river and take bath. That's why Krishna Leela, Yamuna, every day all the Gopa Gopis will go to Yamuna to take bath because all the friends will go to the river together. So they will have nice pastime because they will play with one another. They will splash water on each other. They will have a lot of fun. Krishna was center of all the fun. So in this way, even 1,000 years ago, people used to go to riverside and take bath. All, Vivekananda Swami's daughter also went to river to take bath and fetch some water to the Tirumalagai, but they were stopped by a puddle of muddy water. They didn't want to cross it because river is not very nearby. They need to walk again, take bath. Even if they have to come again, the same water will be there. The muddy water. Somebody had to either clean it or somebody should put a small bridge kind of thing so that they could cross it without getting soiled. And what happened was while they were hesitating to cross the puddle of water or jump over it, Manakkal Nambi Swami said, "Children, don't worry. I will just lie down. You please walk on me." He just lied down on the puddle of water, on the muddy water. The daughters walked on him, walked on the back of Manakkal Nambi. So they were clean. And then he requested them to go to home. And then he came after a while, cleaning the muddle of water and all those things. And he took bath and then he came home. Upon seeing him, his Acharya, Uyakonda, was quite astonished. He said, "What a very humble disciple I have. I can't really believe I have such a humble disciple. You were even ready to lie down on muddy water for the sake of my children. So you would be called Manakkal Nambi from now on." It's not only the fact that he was born in the place called Manakkal Nambi, he is known as Manakkal Nambi, but for the reason that he was willing to do Kainkaryam for the children of his Acharya. He just lied on the muddy place. Mud in Tamil we call manal. Manal means the soil, mud. In Tamil, mud means manal. Riverside you find soil, sand and all. The sand is known as manal in Tamil. The muddy sand, because he was ready to lie on the muddy sand, he was known as manakkal nambi. Do you now understand why he is called as manakkal nambi? For two reasons. What is the number one reason he is known as manakkal nambi? Can one of you tell me? Because he was born in the place known as Manakkal. What is another reason? Because he was willing to lie on the muddy sand for the sake of his Acharya's children, so that they could cross the muddy pool of water without getting soil. He is not, because they kept their feet on him, to cross the pool of water. So he is known as Manakkal. Manakkal means because when they walked on him, their feet, they were placed on the back of Manakkal Nambi Swami. So he was known as Manakkal Nambi for these two beautiful reasons. Uyakonda thought Manakkal Nambi will be the ideal person to fulfill his desire. So he requests Manakkal Nambi to go to Alavandar, Yamunai Thuraivan, to go to Alavandar and teach him Visishta Vaidam, the core principle of Sri Vaishnava, principle of Alvar and Acharyas, especially Acharyas, especially Alvar's Divya Prabandham. Alvar's Divya Prabandham is very important for Sri Vaishnavas. It gives us all the knowledge we need to understand about the glories of Emperumal and serve him better here in this Bhulokam as well as in Vaikuntha. So, Divya Prabandham is very important. The knowledge of Divya Prabandham as well. Chanting gives us the knowledge. It's just a start. When we chant, we learn it, and when we chant with bhakti, after understanding the meaning, we start applying the meaning in our life. This way, Divya Prabandham helps us to perform Kainkaryam in the Bhulokam as well in the Vaikuntha. So, Manakkal Nambi was taught all these things by Uyakondar. We know Uyakondar learnt everything from Natha Munigal himself, directly from Natha Munigal, who directly learnt all these things from Nammalvar, with the grace of Nammalvar. So, Uyakondar requests Manakkal Nambi that he should teach Sri Vaishnava to Alavandar. Alavandar was a king by this time. Let us see the story of Alavandar after this way. But today we will see. Now, Yamunai Thurevar, grandson of Natha Munigal, he was very rich, he was very popular, and he got half of the kingdom from a very great king. So he was ruling that part, half of the kingdom. He was more like a big celebrity. Everybody liked him. He had a very good life, material life. So it was not very easy to go to his place, because Manakkal Nambi was a very humble person. He didn't have the material luxuries and stuff like that. So you would not look very grand in the eyes of other people. You would look very humble. So, because Alavandar was a very kingly person now, it was very hard for Manakkal Nambi to meet him. So every day he will go to one place, because in those days and all, they used to carry the king in palanquin. Do you know what palanquin means? Have you heard of it, or have you seen uh, have you seen it? At least in movies or in documentaries or things like that. Palanquin, it will look like a large box, a kind of a box, and you can sit in the box. People can carry you. So it's more like a small carriage that can be carried by people. So about dozens of people would carry the box, the palanquin. Every day, Alavandar will travel in a palanquin. Wherever he wants to go, he will sit in the palanquin, and his servants will take him to the place. Every day he goes to temple and other places like that. So Manakkal Nambi will go to those places, and sometimes he will walk along with the palanquin too. One day, what happens? Manakkal Nambi, like, he thinks he needs to be corrected. Alavanda needs to be corrected. He observes uh, what Alavandar is. Kind of, he learns something about Alavandar. Alavandar likes emmi dish, emmi prasadam. So he thought, okay, he likes to eat emmi prasadam. So I will make sure he gets emmi prasadam from Krishna. So he goes to his kitchen. He gets a job in his kitchen. Every day he prepares one dish. It's made of Toduvada Kira. It's not that he prepares directly. He gives a recipe to the head cook, and every day he will bring that. It's kind of a spinach, a special spinach, Toduvada. It is available in South India. It will be available in most of the places in South India. It grows plenty in South India. So every day, but only few people know how to pick this green, how to pick this spinach, because it may be abundant in forest and places like that. So you need to pick the right plant. He will pick the Toduvada Kira. We call it Kira. Okay? The green leafy vegetable is known as Toduvada Kira. He picks it and he takes it to kitchen. And the Swami who cooks Prashadam in the palace will use it. And he will give the recipe also. Please prepare this way. Make this dish. It will be very nice. Then they offer it to Perumal. He says, always make sure you offer it to Krishna. Before serving it to your king, you need to offer it to Krishna. Oh, really? Yes, then you will get a special taste. Oh, really? So they prepare as per the instruction of Manakkal Nambi, then they offer it to Krishna, then they take this, all the cooked prasadam along with this special dish made of Toduvada Kiri, and to Alavandar. Alavandar says, oh, yummy, I really like this dish. It's so yummy. This dish is very, very tasty. I've never tasted anything like this. Please make it every day. Every day? The cook was very surprised. Yes, he said, every day I want it. Same dish? Won't you be bored, Swami? No, I want it every day. So every day, Manakkal Nambi brings a bunch of Toduvada Kira. the chief cook makes a nice dish with the Thuduvela Kira and he serves Alavanda. It happens for quite some time. One day, the cook was waiting, but Manakkal didn't turn up at all because he used to come at the right time, just on time, so they could prepare the dish. He was waiting, but Manakkal didn't come at all. So he got very nervous. So, okay, then he made all the as usual prasadams, served it to Krishna, and then he took the prasadam to Alavandar Swami. I mean, Alavandar Swami was eating, then he asked, please give me Thuduvala Kira, the dish made of Thuduvala Kira. I like it. Can I have it now, please? Then the cook says, sorry, Swami, Adian was not able to make it today. Why? He was a little bit angry too. Why? You know that I like Thuduvalakira very much. Why did you not make it? Then the cook says, the Swami who used to bring Thuduvalakira did not come today. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he's sick. I don't know what happened. Okay, maybe he's sick. Let us give him a couple of days. Okay, then Alavanda Swami got adjusted. He was fine. Two days, 3 days, it's been a while since Manakkal Nambi visited the palace. Now, Alavandar Swami got a little bit angry. See, for few days I can manage without Thudavadakira. It's been a while, more than a week. Where is Thudavadakira? Where is the Swami? What happened to him? Won't you go and check on him? If he's sick, we need to help him because he was doing a wonderful service to us. Please find out what happened to this Swami. I want Thudavadakira dish every day. And also, I want to know what happened to the Swami. So, now this cook and his friends, they went to the place of Manakkal Nambi. Manakkal, they say what happened to him. They said the king wanted Thudvalakira every day, and they also said the king wanted to know what happened to Manakkal Nambi. And then Manakkal Nambi says, okay, I'll come to the palace and meet the king. And I will say, but I want to meet the king in person. You please tell him that I want to meet him in person. If he agrees, I will come to the palace. So they go and tell the king also agrees. Who is the king here? Yamunai Thuraivan. Yamunai Thuraivan. Then Manakkal Nambi goes and meets Yamunai Thuraivan. Yamunai Thuraivan says, Swami, what happened? Do you want more money? I can give you whatever you ask. Please bring the kira every day. Is it very hard to find it? Please do not worry about the expenses. You go anywhere, wherever it is available, you can go to the place. I will take care of all the expenses. Please bring the kira every day to the palace for the king, so the cook can make the dish every day. And he says he doesn't want any any money from the king. He says he's not in need of any of those wealth. Alavandar was very surprised. Oh, I'm saying that I will give him anything he likes, anything he wants. I say I can give him so much money, but still he says he doesn't need them. He says he is not in need of any money. Then he says, are you very rich, Swami? You don't want any money? No, even before that also I never took any money. I just gave the Thuduvalakira to your cook. I didn't get any money for that. Neither I got any money nor I requested any money for that. Alavandar was very surprised. What? You must be a very mysterious person. Manakkal Nambi says, yes, and I have abundant wealth. The wealth I have can be distributed to anybody, but still it will not diminish at all. And it will grow on, it will keep growing and growing. The wealth will keep growing and growing the more I distribute it to other people. Your wealth, Yamunai Thuraiva, the grandson of Nathamuni, your wealth will diminish if you give Even just look at the example of the king. He gave half of the kingdom to you, then he became half rich. He was rich first. After he shared half of his kingdom with you, he became half rich. If you share some of your wealth will diminish. But the wealth I have, I don't really have any worry about. If I share it with others, it will keep growing and I have such a big amount of wealth. You can't imagine of, oh, what are you so? Yeah, what are you talking about, Swami? I would really like to have that kind of wealth. Then you come with me, I will take you to the wealth and you see. He was so curious and he wanted to see what that wealth is. So he went with Manakkal Nambi. Manakkal Nambi took Yamunithuravan with him and he went to Thiruvarangam. They both went to Thiruvarangam and he showed, see, here is the treasure, here is the wealth. This beautiful Sriranganatha Swami showed Sriranganatha to Yamunithuravan. Yamunithurava was so surprised. Ranganatha was so beautiful. Remember the story of Villidasa? Ramanuja took Villidasa, Dhanurdasa to Ranganatha and he placed his hand on the head of Villidasa and turned his head towards Ranganatha. At that time, Villidasar, Dhanurdasar was able to see the beautiful eyes, the glorious eyes of Ranganatha, and he got the extreme happiness. Similarly, when Manakkal Nambi took Yamunithuravan to Srirangam, Yamunithuravan also got extreme happiness. He was very happy and he said, yes, this is a wealth, I know. And he also sang some of the pasrams of Alvar when they both were in the shrine of Sri Ranganatha. Nathamunigal taught so many Divya Prabandhams, the pasrams to Uyakonda. In similar way, Uyakonda taught those things to Manakkal Nambi. Manakkal Nambi danced and sang in front of Sriranganatha, in front of Yamunithuravan. Upon hearing the beautiful pasrams of Alvars, beautiful pasrams of Nalayira Divya Prabandham, Yamunithuravan prostrated at the lotus feet of Manakkal Nambi and said, yes, this is the actual wealth. This wealth will never diminish. It will keep growing and growing. The more we share, the more we chant, the more it grows. That's why the true knowledge, the more you share the true knowledge with your family and friends, the more it grows within you everywhere. So this wealth, this is the true wealth that can't be stolen away by anybody. The more you share, the more it grows. What is the true wealth? Can you say? What is the true wealth? What is the true wealth? The true wealth is Divya Prabandham, knowledge of Divya Prabandham. So, this way, Manakkal Nambi fulfilled the desires of both Nathamunigal and Uyakonda. Alavandar, he became, Yamunithuravan became Alavandar. Next week, we will learn the story of Alavandar. So, we will finish the class with the Taniyan of Manakkal Nambi. Can we say the Taniyan of Manakkal Nambi now? Malaran Swami, சொல்றேனா நான் சொல்லட்டுமா?
Yes.
I will say. You repeat after me. Ayat nato. சொல்லுங்க ayat nato. சொல்லுங்க ayat nato. கேக்குறதா ayat nato? 2 times சொல்லுங்க சொல்லுங்க. யாமுனம் 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 ஆத்மதாசம் ஆத்மதாசம் சொல்லுங்க. ஆத்மதாசம் வெரி குட். அலர்க்க அலர்க்க பத்ரார்ப்பண 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 நிஷ்க்ரயேண நிஷ்க்ரயேண क्रीतवान् 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 आस्थित आस्थित यव्वराज्यं यव्वराज्यं आस्थित यव्वराज्यं नमामितं नमामितं சொல்லுங்க. நமாமிதம் நமாமிதம் ராமமேய ராமமேய சத்வம் ராமமேய சத்வம் சரியா கேட்கலையா? ராமமேய சத்வம் சத்வம் நான் இது முழுக்க ஒரு வாட்டி சொல்லேன். இதோடு நான் உங்களுக்கு இது நான் இன்னைக்கு முடிஞ்ச குரூப்ல போடுறேன். இது 2 தனியனுமே போடுறேன் இன்னைக்கு. அது பிராக்டிஸ் பண்ணுங்க சரியா? அயத்னதோ யாமுனம் இன்னும் இதோட முடிச்சிடலாம் இன்னைக்கு கிளாஸ். ஓகே. அயத்னதோ யாமுனம் ஆத்மதாசம் அலர்க்க பத்ரார்ப்பண நிஷ்க்ரயேண யஹ் கிரீதவா ஆஸ்தித யவ்வராஜ்யம் நமாமிதம் ராமமேய சத்வம். இதோட நம்ம இன்னைக்கு கிளாஸ் முடிச்சுக்கலாம். எப்படி நம்ம கிளாஸ் முடிப்போம்? என்ன சொல்லி முடிக்கிறோம்? ஆழ்வாரும் பெருமானார் ஆச்சாரியன் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஆழ்வாரும் பெருமானார் ஜிய திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஆச்சாரியன் திருவடிகளே சரணம். கோஷ்டி திருவடிகளே சரணம். சரி, இன்னைக்கு முடிச்சுக்கலாம். அடுத்த வாரம் பார்க்கலாம். அடுத்த வாரம் நம்ம இன்னொரு சுவாமியோட கதை தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம். அடியே धन्यवाद. Adiyan Swami. Adiyan. Now we will have Seva Kalam bhajans. So other Swami will join. நாம அடுத்த வாரம் பார்க்கலாம்.